Good evening and welcome to Curtain Call, our podcast all about theater. From the page to the stage, from the players to the playhouse, bring you the stories that create the stories that you see on stage. Of all about the people in the background, the actors, the singers, the dancers, the musicians, the producers, the directors, the writers. We bring their stories to you so that you will have an understanding of what live theater is in the performing arts. And our mission is to enhance and to grow, enrich our understanding of the culture of live theater and what we bring to you on stage. We've been very fortunate to bring some very interesting and unique people on our show from the beginning. And each week we try to step it up and bring someone else on who's a little bit more interesting. I've had the good pleasure the good fortune to work with a number of young people over the years, and that's a lot of years. I'm not going to tell you how many years, but quite a few years. I've worked with a lot of people who have been able to start on the stage, have some success on the stage, and then move into other areas of entertainment like film and movies. Uh, 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 Professional singers. Uh, I've worked with a lot of young people who have done some great things, and I feel very fortunate about that. Our guest this evening is one of those people I've had the pleasure of working with who has taken it to another level in different ways, and it's special because he's special. And I'm so happy that he agreed to do this show with me today. He's coming to us live from Atlanta, Georgia, where he is now working as a producer, writer, director. And I want to take this time right now to introduce to you uh, Prince E. Mays Sullivan, writer, producer,
Hello.
director, actor. Welcome. I affectionately call him Young Harold. So if you hear me call him Harold, that's what I know him as Harold. So
Uh,
welcome, Harold, to Curtain Call.
Thank you. Thank you for
It's so
having
good
me.
to see you. You're looking good,
Thank you.
and you're looking good.
I'm so glad to
Yeah,
be on.
Harold. Good, good. Harold moved to Atlanta a few years ago to pursue his interest in theater and film, and is down there making it happen.
Hmm.
Um, Harold and I go way back. Many years ago,
Yeah.
I had a theater camp for youth in Detroit through Hope United Methodist Church, as well as the Paul Robeson Theater of the Northwest Activity Center.
Hmm.
And Harold, I believe, was in all my camps.
Yeah.
Him and a whole handful of young people who came through those camps. Another one who was having success out in Hollywood as well. You and her came through at the same time. And
Degree.
well, why don't you just introduce you? Tell us all about you. So Jabri, yes, she's. I think I saw her the other night on
Yeah, she's
she's
doing
doing
really,
real
really
well out in
good.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
right. So let's talk about you and how good you do.
Atlanta, Atlanta is, Atlanta is where everybody is going to film, but for
Hmm.
film, TV, this is Black Hollywood. Now,
Hmm.
like he said, I, st- I we I started on stage, and so my whole my dream for myself was to tour with stage shows. I never really wanted. No, I can't say I didn't want. I didn't really think about the TV movie side of that. But what happened was,
Hmm.
remember Michigan had those film in- incentives like about
Incentive.
10 years ago, and no, longer than that, probably like whoa, like 15 years ago, probably. Yeah, I think. So they had
Yeah, when Granholm was
yeah.
governor.
So they started to film a lot, and so I met people, and like um, I did shows. I produced shows. I produced my own show, two plays. But like when around 2017, everybody I knew, I know a lot of producers pretty much everywhere around the country, but everybody in Detroit was wanting to do film now. I'm like, okay. And so Melissa, my lovely, lovely, dear Melissa, who we miss so much, um, she was like, Prince, why can't you direct this as a TV pilot, right? And so I'm like, well, Mel, like I want to do live stuff on stage. She's like, yeah, but you gotta think about the money, and no, think about the long term effects. Think long term about your career. I'm like, okay, so I wrote, I can write anything, drama, comedy, whatever you want me to do, I can do it. So once I started to like get into TV, and then like I would give like these like on my cousin teammate tests. They were looking for handicapped people for this commercial. And my very first commercial, they even filmed it in my apartment. I was living downtown Detroit. That was my first commercial. And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. And so I just kind of kept doing those. And then like once the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I had my own show like this. I had you on, and so um, I came to Atlanta for a little vacation, and
Hmm.
everybody was just like, "You should move here," cause they would ask me like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a whenever I tell them about what I do, I'm like, "Are you ready?" So I'm an actor, writer, producer, director. I write songs. I design sets, and they're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Sometimes I forget how much I work for myself. But basically, a long story
Aaron, let me
short,
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Oh, I was going to ask you because of your disabilities, your handicaps, one would not think that you would do theater. When you came to my first camp, it was kind of a culture shock for me.
mhm,
But I would never say no to anybody who wants to do anything. What is it that led you? I know once I've said this almost every week that when you get bit by the theater bug, you're hooked for
yeah.
life. Um, what is it that drove you, and what words can you say to others out there as a source of inspiration? Because your story is amazing. You are successful. I've seen you act on stage. Writer. I worked with you. As
Mhm.
you and Jabri wrote that play for the summer camp the first year. Um,
Yes.
so
Yes.
you are all of these things. And so, talk to us a little bit about give our audience some encouragement and some words of wisdom and inspiration for those who may have someone who with the same disabilities or with any disabilities that the sky's the limit.
Well, for one, I had a family that did not uh they didn't they I was always a person first. I wasn't handicapped.
Right.
So my sister, look, you can do it. You can crawl. You can go to the bathroom. So, like, once you have that, and my parents, like, okay, well, you know, you got one hand that work, you the hand to do that. So it just in me to just kind of go with the like just figure out how to do it and do it. Figure it out. It might be hard, and believe me, sometimes it's like it's annoying. But then once you figure that out, you're like, oh, I can do it. And I promise you, almost every single day, I amaze myself at the things that I do. And then, you were telling them, all of these credits I have. I'm like, oh my God. Because I don't think in those terms. And I think on my advice to anyone disabled, fully able, no matter, it don't matter. This is something you have to love. I wake up each day
Right.
and my mind goes to producer mode, or I'm up all night because I got people talking in my head, and I'm like, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
I need to sleep. But when you're a writer, you know, like they don't stop. Also, I am a very bossy person, so they, my, when my parents saw that I wanted to be a director, they're like, yep, that fits him because even I remember when I was a little kid, they said he is so bossy. He he's so demanding of like
Mm-hmm.
so I had that. I already had all the qualities that I need in my career I had. So like no it was no question um about what I wanted to do. And like my parents were great. They got me into camp. You know, I will go see all your shows. I will go see I will go see different stuff. Not just one thing. I will go to Broadway, and then I will go see an urban show at the music hall. But it was always different
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And also, my whole family is
Mm-hmm.
kind of crazy. So I had all these stories, or just being on the bus, I would hear stuff and grown folk talk, right? And I would hear it, I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
huh. And I didn't know, but I was putting together a show. All stuff I heard. Or when you're able to look at a random person, a random stranger you don't know, and you build a whole backstory on that person. That's how you know that you are a writer. So yeah, this if
Mm-hmm.
if you love it,
Yeah,
do
when
it.
you create the backstory.
Yeah, mm, that's really
Mm-hmm.
all it is.
Right. But you are watching, yeah, you are watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, coming to you live, streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Please share this story, Curtain Call, with your family and friends. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a call if you like to the WJZZ Cool TV station. Uh, Tell your friends. Make comments. Again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. And we're talking to you all about theater with a young man who started theater and has just branched out in all as a producer, as a writer. As I was saying earlier, I watched him One of the things that we did in our first summer camp was some writing, and he and another young lady did some writing and created their own camp ending presentation play for the stage, and it came off so well. And you guys did such a great job of writing it, and even
Well,
assisting in directing it.
I have to tell you though, it was
Tell me,
hard.
tell the audience what was. I know it was
So
hard.
okay, this is okay. Now, this is what most people don't know. Sometimes you have to work with people you don't like, and
Oh,
that's that. Yeah. So it was a lot of petty. And remember, these are all what like what 11 to like the age range was what
12, 12 to
11.
12 to 16. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, 12
12.
and 6.
We had two different groups.
Yeah.
We had the 6 to 12, and then the teenagers, 13 to
So yeah,
17.
so teenagers, you're working with teenagers. Remember that
Right.
teenagers are crazy. Okay, so doing the rehearsal process, because the thing is, the one thing that I loved was we we built the set, we wrote the script, we
Hmm.
produced the show. Like everything that I do now, I learned from Mr. Douglas. Like he was like, okay, well do this, and then come back to me. He would go home or wherever you went, but it was up to us to make sure that this thing was correct. But sometimes, um, and I would advise you not to do this. You get you get your feelings attached to stuff, and as an actor, you gotta learn how to even writers, you gotta learn how to detach, or you will go crazy, because you can't keep all that in your head. You just can't. So what happened was, um, the direction, and people didn't like direction, and so I remember I had a love interest. You don't know this. We did not get along at all, but no one knew that because I'm like, look, I'm like, look here, I'm an actor.
Who
I need
who
to
is
convince.
who was
I have.
that you didn't get along with?
I'm not saying that. I forgot her name anyway. But you know what? I saw her years later, and she was so nice. But we were kids. Um, I don't even know why we didn't like each other, but we were a love and we were that was my love interest. So most of the scenes were with me and her, and so the whole time she did not like me at all. Not at all. And sometimes directors can be a little arrogant. And when you're young and you're learning about this, you can sometimes, first time directors, they're like, oh, I got power. And it's good, but not good at the same time. You gotta balance everything because. And then also when you're directing and you're in the show, you gotta know how to boom. Okay, I'm the character. Boom, I'm the director. Boom. It's a lot that goes on. So I don't think they that they were ready for all of that to switch it up so much. Or like, hey, this is not working. It's not funny. We got a stranger, and then me and the people had to like, okay,
Okay,
so that line,
uh, Harold, I missed some of that.
you know, I was saying I'm gonna
Harold.
condense. Yeah, you got me. You got me. I I was saying that you have to um figure out a way to direct and act with the person, no matter what. You know what I mean? Um, so it's very, very important to understand not to use your power um too much. You wanna be fair. Um, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Like you want to be fair as a director, but also people need to know that you are in charge, and that's where conflict can happen. You know what I mean? So yeah. But the good thing though was we ended up having a great show, and I remember you were very very happy with the final the final product. So I mean, that's really all you can ask for is for the audience to be happy. That is the best thing you can do. Is make your audience happy. That is, and also to teach the audience something. You want people to leave with something. Um, you know what I mean? It is, and that's what you taught us. Like you want them to feel something.
Okay.
The audience, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
you gotta feel it, and also sometimes you gotta improv too, improve, improve time. So
Okay.
yeah, always be ready. Uh huh.
Okay. My whole screen is
So
freezing up.
that what you taught me. No matter what, you gotta keep it going. So uh yeah, that's something else that I would tell somebody.
I'm not sure
Keep
if everyone can see what's happening out there.
keep going, Mr. Mr. Douglas. I can see you and hear you. I think we're good. Can you hear me?
Okay, because I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay.
I didn't hear any story. I'm trying to.
No, I was
I didn't
telling
hear
the
any of the
audience
story. It froze
basically.
up
I,
on me.
I was telling the audience that it's important to when you're directing to make sure that you tell your cast you want them to feel something. You want to leave the audience feeling something, and that's something that you taught us. You were very, very instrumental when it's like, hey, at the end of the day, you are portraying a person. Don't
It
think of
froze
it as a
again.
character. Don't think of it as a character. Think of it as a, a person, a real life person that you are portraying, and you have to make sure that everybody gets on the same page here. So um, not sure how much of that you can hear. Um,
I'm having
w-
can you hear me now, Harold?
oh yeah, 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 you're good. You're good.
Harold, can you hear
Yeah.
me? Okay, so yeah, I basically the screen has been frozen for a minute, and I can't. I missed everything that you said, and
I was
uh,
I was
it looks like we're back on online now.
I was talking about directing, directing.
Go ahead with your
And
story. Hopefully, the audience
yeah,
will be able to pick it up. Um, uh,
yeah.
so I'm not sure.
So
I'm not sure
no,
what we're being able to see.
but no. A lot of times I'm both in the cast and the director. So what I learned was you need to get them to a place where okay, we're good. I can now step into my character and they know what I'm going to do because the actor should be able to follow you wherever you go. Okay, if
Hmm.
you're an actor, you need to be able to roll with anything because it's live. This is not on camera.
Exactly.
This is live,
And
and
right.
anything and everything can will and can go wrong. I have gotten stuck on stage. I the lights ain't come on when I wanted them to, and I'm like, I had to like put it in the scene. I'm like, when the last time they changed these lights? It's like it's dark outside, and it's dark outside, and it's 5 o'clock. Why it's so dark? Um, what I'm doing is I'm telling my team, hey, turn my lights on before you get fired. So, and of course, I'm like,
From the stage.
what?
From the
Exactly. I'm like,
stage.
why is it so dark? And then, boom, there we go. Okay, somebody paid the light bill on lip noise. Cause and then the audience laugh and you go along with it. But
Hmm.
you as an actor have to know. Remember, you told me a door broke, the whole door came down, or a wall.
Yeah, yeah,
Remember,
right. Yeah, they kicked the door off the wall. Right.
they kicked the
In a
door off
show,
the wall.
and I had to ad lib the show out with the door.
Now, see, though, yeah. So I've had. Oh, one time my mic pack dropped, right? And so the audience couldn't see it,
Hmm.
but I kept doing like this, and I'm trying to grab
Hmm.
my pack, but also I don't want it to come out. I don't want it to come out because then no one can hear me. So it was funny because so sometimes the cash you have at the table reads ain't the cash that on stage because I think that first show that you saw we rehearsed for about 4 weeks, but
Hmm.
what a lot of people don't know is about 2 weeks before we had someone that had to step out the show for you know per, personal
Hmm.
reasons. So we had to cast somebody, and so we found this great girl, Sierra Leone, who you know Sierra. Sierra. Yeah, you know Sierra. Um, and Sierra came on, and she had a big role too. And then we added a character,
Hmm.
a comedian, D Jones, because Melissa, I had a lot of dialogue, and Melissa was worried
I know
about.
D Jones.
Uh, yeah. So Melissa was worried about me having too much dialogue. So what we did was, but like, we need to find a comedian. We don't need an actor. We need a comedian, and we made him my cousin. Now he came he came to rehearsal, no script. He didn't have anything, okay? And I told him, I'm like, hey, just follow me. And so now, remember, Sierra is new and D Jones is new, right? So this my very first scene is with these two people that are brand new to the show. So in rehearsal, it was crazy the because me and D Jones had the ad lib because he had no lines. So I'm like, yo, just take that line. And so while we're in rehearsal, I'm telling him, okay, you take that, and then I'm gonna come in here, and we're gonna do that. So fast forward to the actual stage, the first show we did, right? Sierra, I don't know how, but she skipped about 5 pages, and it was a couple things that needed to happen, right? And so
Hmm.
again, they're brand new, and no one knows that. They just got this part. And so luckily, Mia, I wrote it, so I saved this. But it was like, I'm like, oh, God, didn't you say something about your daddy? I lived it, and it brought her back. And so because Melissa was like, oh, I could just see Melissa like, oh my God, what are they doing? What is going on this? But I had it, I had it, and we got through
You
it.
had it. Yeah.
And because you told me you had no idea, you just thought that was what I wrote. It was not.
Hmm.
Like I
But
got
the audience doesn't know. The audience doesn't know. As long as you don't play character,
and then
you can get away with it.
and so I tell them in rehearsal, I tell my actors, don't apologize. If something go wrong, keep going. Now,
Hmm.
me being the comedian, sometimes there's something that goes wrong with the audience, like a phone or somebody comes in late, or there's something that just like, okay, I have to somehow find a way to like let them know, like, hey, no, or like filming. So like when we film the show, I'm talking, but I see a camera. I'm like, well, y'all know I'm filming the show, right? Y'all can buy a DVD in like 9 months, but y'all gonna buy it. Y'all ain't gonna keep recording my
Let
show,
me,
and then I went right back in to the story.
Harold,
Yeah,
Harold. So let
yeah,
me just say, you're watching Curtain
yeah.
Call on WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. So all we want you to do is just let everybody know about our show. Give us a thumbs up, make comments, give us a call in if you got questions. If you know someone who's in theater, who could use some promotion, give us a call. Let us know who they are. Maybe we can get them on the show. If they've got a show coming up, give us a call. Let us know what it is that they're producing for starring in, because we're all about promoting our community of theater, and we want you, the audience, to help us grow that. So again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ, Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, Harold. Um, I know you're doing some great things in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, First, I want you to tell me about what's happening in theater in Atlanta, and then let's get into what you are doing in Atlanta in terms of writing and producing.
Okay.
But first, tell us what's happening in theater in Atlanta, yeah, because we've got a national audience here. People from all over the country can watch this show, and I've got a lot of people, a lot of friends in Atlanta. Hopefully, tune in, and if not, I'm going to call them after this show and make sure they watch it. So, tell us what's happening in Atlanta in theater.
Well, okay. Of course, the great Kenny Leon, Tony Award winning director of stage and screen. Um, we have this.
Mm-hmm.
He 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 opened this theater. It's called True Colors Theater, and so a lot of local
Mm-hmm.
playwrights have been able to get shows produced there, and I have friends that work there, and so um they're always telling me about different shows, and also you do have the big tours that come to the Fox Theater down here in Atlanta. Um, Me personally, I missed the way it was back in the earlier 2000s, like from like 2000 to 2010, when you would have the road, the urban road shows come in for a week and play, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not really doing it anymore. Also, too, one thing that is kind of breaking my heart about theater is sets. Now you know me, I love sets. I love to design sets. I just that's my happy place. But now they're bringing in LED screens for sets, and they have like a table that
Hmm.
rolls off, and the table that comes up, and like but it doesn't feel the same to me though. So there's a lot of great theater, true colors, um, a theatrical outlet. Oh, they have a John Lewis uh, production. Um, Actually, I got to see the first reading of it. They did a presentation, and
Mm-hmm.
they're using rap. It's like a rap musical about John Lewis. And like, of course you go in there you're like a rap musical about John Lewis. Okay. But, cause
Yeah.
we've all been to shows. We've all been to those shows like, oh God, how long is it? Like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm like, I really hope no one asks me my opinion because I don't like to lie. But no, it's so great. So you got the John Lewis show. They're coming back with a full production. So there's a lot of stuff for theater lovers out here. Um, yeah, you just
Mm-hmm.
everything is out here. You just have to know where to look, know where to find stuff. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
mm, as
Okay.
far as my as far as myself, um, right now we are focused on a new sitcom that I'm producing and starring in. And so that's taking a lot of my time. But I do want to get back to theater though. I really do. So once I have more time, I'll come back and do it. But yeah, that is
Okay.
the landscape.
Tell us. Mm. Tell us about the show the sitcom you're working
The
on.
si-
Who you working on with, and what's it about? Um, give us tell us a little bit about that, and what's the name of it, and uh, so give us the essence of the
okay,
project.
so the show is called Cam, Kam, Cam. So it's a show.
Okay.
It's a show about this young man who is a writer, a TV writer, and he works for this production company with his two best friends, and he lives with his sister, and he's very, very introverted, kind of shy. Um, I kind of base him on me a little bit as far as him being
Just a little
yeah,
bit.
as far as him being like a writer, but like he has
Hmm.
way less confidence than I do. I don't want to play. I don't want to play myself. So because that's not
Right.
you know what I mean. So basically, he a big promotion that he did not want, and it forces him to have to
Okay.
go to. He had to go outside, and he had to navigate a world that was not built for him. And that's the comedy. Oh, it's sad that it's that this is real life stuff. A lot of stuff that I wrote is all my own life, like trying to get places and not being able to get places, or having to find weird ways to do stuff. You know what I mean? So it's hysterical.
Mhm.
What we're going right now, I'm talking to many people. I'm in my producer mode right now. So yeah, that's it's a sitcom. So I can't wait to start the actual shooting, which we're going to shoot this summer. So it should be fun. Yeah, it should be fun.
It sounds like it.
Yeah,
It sounds like
yeah. So yeah.
so. Um, um, some of who are some of the people that you've had the pleasure of working with that we may not know, but some people of note that you think was we should know about that you worked with. I know a lot with Melissa Talbot. She talked a lot, and they just had
Mhm.
a film director here and writer Kamal Smith just won the first annual Melissa Talbot Lifetime Achievement Award last night for Detroit filmmakers.
Come
Um,
on, yeah.
and
That's my guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he just won
Well,
the Melissa Talbot Lifetime Achievement Award.
well, again, Melissa taught me so much. Um, yeah,
Hmm.
and she was such a great person. Um, and you know, she was talking to me real conversations, and she knew
Hmm.
how my brain worked with just being when you're a writer, director, producer. Sometimes people don't understand you. But anyway, um, you know Sierra because you worked with Sierra before. Sierra Leone,
Okay.
and you probably know her.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and her mom. I think her mom did a show with you. If, anyway, Sierra and I have gotten real close, and so she'll be in the sitcom. She's playing one of the best friends, one of the more annoying best friends. So there's a lot of comedy in me and her over the past. I I would say 4 years. We've gotten to um build a friendship. And so I I can call her and text her, or she'll call me, and we'll just hang out with each other. But yeah, I'm so happy that she's in there. I have both of my god sisters helping me out with production, and I'm talking to some local uh, film students. And I'm trying to get people. I'm trying to build build a studio that has everybody in there, black, white, Asian, Mexican, gay, straight, wherever trans, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So because
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of stuff, but I don't see myself in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Or
Mm-hmm.
the breakdowns. Somebody somebody got into a car crash, or somebody got hurt on playing football. But that's not me. I This is how I was born. So I kind of just want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure that we're telling stories about everybody, not just what.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's funny, a lot of people don't think that I date, or when they hear me talk or curse, they're like, "Oh my God, he cursed." I'm like, I think people don't realize that I'm a person, or like
Right.
it's just a lie, because like there's always somebody that's like with me, so the person will talk to them, and then they'll be like,
And
and not me, and they're like, well, he, he's the boss. I'm like, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get across. It's like, just because I'm in a shit don't mean I can't talk. Like, I'm like, you may not know this, but
right.
I, I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I got my own companies. So it's like that, and I think that's the main goal, is just to make sure that everybody has a seat, because there's room.
Right.
There's room. But if you don't see it, and we haven't been taught how to come together, and because people they're so careful around me, like, oh my God, we gotta be real fragile. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, I'm tough. I'm probably the toughest.
Nothing fragile about
I'm
you.
okay. I'm probably the toughest person you gonna meet. Okay, I don't care. Okay,
mm-hmm.
you call me a name. I know myself. I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
They know who I am. So you talking down to me. Okay, I'm just gonna dismiss you and keep going. So I think if people just know, if they just realize, at the end of the day, I'm a person. There you go. I am
Amen.
a individual, and
Right.
the character Cam is also an individual. So you'll see
Mm-hmm.
that on the on the TV.
Right. Right. Okay, Harold. Um, we've come to the end of our. I'm hoping that has been uplifted, and see you as a shining example of don't look at somebody with disabilities or a handicap and think that they're not a whole, complete, thoughtful, thinking, functioning human being, because they are. And Harold is a perfect example of that. And just in his accomplishments in an area where you would, like he says, you don't see a lot of him on TV. He doesn't see himself, and that needs to change. We need to be reflective of each and every uh, uh, aspect and sector of our American citizenry, of our people. And so, Harold, you are to be appreciated and commended for working to bring stories to the screen and to the stage that reflect
Yes.
you and others like you. And we applaud you for that. We thank you for being who you are and being the strong black man that you are to bring those stories to us. I just want to close by saying you are, and thank you so much, Harold.
Th-
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for coming on today,
thank you for
and we'll
teaching
talk.
me. Thank you for teaching me the basics and how to do all this. Without you, I wouldn't be here. So thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you for the compliment. So you are watching Curtain Call on WJZZ, cool TV station in the world. Uh, Streaming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. Again, give us a comment, give us a call. Let your family and friends know that we're here every Monday for 5 to 5:50 p.m. Again, thank you. And we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you can get through the little technical glitches may have had in this show. Come back and enjoy. This is Curtain Call signing off. Have a good evening.